Rugo, it has been a full day since we last saw you and the others, and the three of you stand before a Rhodian who is dressed in black flight gear with these sort of thick scanner goggles over his eyes, and you guys managed to track him down behind this old parts store along the downtown strip. He doesn't seem to be too weirded out or anything as you guys walk up and approach him, and he looks over towards you, looks you up and down. He's quite short, and he says, which in in Star Wars everyone has subtitles for some reason, so the subtitles come up along the bottom of the screen, and it says, "What you want? You buying or selling, Hume?" He's looking at you, Rugo.
Is he talking about the unit? Or is he talking about...
He wants to know... He wants to know if you're buying or you're selling, so tell him you're buying.
Oh, we're buying. We're buying. Sorry.
Droid parts? Got them all. Audio sensors, articulation pins, Navigo chipsets, rheostats, even some flotation bags in stock.
No flotation bags. Radium conductors? Memory core? We have memory core. Intellex 5 processor. It's probably most compatible. Yes. The processor, yes. No, the processor model.
He says, Intellex 5 specific. You got an R unit, huh?
Right. But I think if I have my calculations correct, it should be compatible, right? It's my first one. I've seen this done before. Refurbished pieces would usually get the Intellect 4 or 3s, but the 5s, I think, would probably work. Right?
Okay. Look at you. Big time star killer. Ace pilot, huh? Are you going to build to sell? I could sell a well-made R unit. Give you a good deal.
How much?
Moto, is working. I would have to see how it working.
Right. Processors, what do you have?
No, general matter.
None?
What do you need?
Well, the Intellex V, the 5.
I give you one, yes. I get you one. And you want radium conductor?
Well, yeah, of course. Also, a vocabulator, if there is one in stock.
Vocabulator for an R unit? Yeah, I got one. For sure,
Alright.
yeah, I got one, yeah.
All right.
Is he lying?
Who wants
Sorry,
to make...
I have returned to my body.
I was on board until he...
Who wants to
until
make
vocabulary.
the check? Let's see here.
Probably me, but I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I forget what the... I
Who
always forget
speaks
what
the
it
best
is.
Rhodian?
This is a discipline check.
And not me.
Dibsies!
If one of you other guys have any justification or maybe a career tick or something in...
I would like to roll it.
If the other two have got a reason, you might be able to give him a boost die.
All right.
Yeah, I'll lean over and say, remember that he's trying to make money and he doesn't care about whether we finish this droid or not. Right? And I have a tick in discipline, but I'd like to
I do
help
not.
him.
Yeah, that'll give him a boost die. Okay,
No.
1 boost.
Boost is blue.
Yeah. Give me
Yeah.
Difficulty.
a difficulty 2 discipline check with 1 blue die. Boost die.
Bluest die.
Loosed.
Right, well, the Force guides me and everything I do, and also within my discipline, so I will try to see if the ebb will flow.
You
No,
got a
well.
you got a triumph. A triumph counts as a success. So it's a crit and an advantage. He is for sure lying about having a vocabulator for
Vocabulator.
an R unit. He doesn't seem like he's lying about the other 2 things. Since this is a triumph and an advantage, I would say that I'll give you an idea, since you have some knowledge with droids now over the last couple of months. This entire thing should only set you back about 200 credits. But if he's
It's not bad.
skimming you on a vocabulator, or maybe he's giving you a different type of vocabulator or something like that, then you might be able to knock it down to like 150 or something. He says,
Yeah, for sure. I got one. Yeah.
So the whole thing is going to be 200? Or for the vocabulator?
Ja, det tog det busan about. For this, he's an Intellect 5. It's pretty hard to get. Radium conductors, got plenty. Best deal. They only 25 credits, but the vocabulator for an R unit, that's gonna set you back. It will be
I know,
250.
250. Do we have it?
I
even have it?
will stamp up. I will laugh in his face and say,
Which one?
250? No, the Rhodians.
Bleach?
250? No, you're not robbing us blind.
Bala, Tejo, Bala. We'll not rob you blind now. I give you a good deal on this. His stuff, it will set you back much more. You go to see these imperials, they give you a bad deal. You go down to the road, you see Monka, he will give you a bad deal. Hey, you come to me, you come to Bleach. I give you a good deal, 200.
Do you know Platib?
No, Platib, piece of shit. Hate him. Bad deal. You will never get a good deal from him, not like Bleach.
Alright. Just wondering.
So you're saying 200 for everything, or 200 for that one thing?
No, it's,
Well,
200
well,
it's one. We could probably get 150 for the vocabulator, but it's 250 for the intellects V.
250 for everything.
Oh,
You
oh,
just,
that's a good.
you
That's
just
a very
sound.
good deal.
That's what he says.
Oh, no.
These parts are
That's-
probably stolen or something.
Of course,
Mm.
yeah. So, should we think about it?
I don't think that's a good deal, actually.
Do we care?
Yes, we need the money.
We need to get out of here.
Give you 175 for the lot.
No, Bojan, thank you for Intellect 5. Our
five.
unit is, what is R3?
Yes, R3.
Oh, so, well, don't you, man. This is good deal for R3. Good
I know.
vocabulator. Good, solid, strong.
May I see the vocabulator?
Oh, Bojan, of course. When I see the credits.
All right. Well, very well. You have it on you.
Oh, Bojan, of course.
You may hold it. I would like to just look at it.
Bojan, you think this is my first rodeo? Come on. Bleach not fall for your plans in back alley.
And you think this is mine?
Hold on, the Bleach is very good for this money. Don't me. I will not be robbed by you in
He looks up at the unbarren dark sky.
the light of day. Oh, Bob.
Right.
Look, you want the vocabulary or not?
Well, I don't think I want the
Perhaps we should
vocabulator,
go
but the other
elsewhere.
two I'm very interested in.
I'll give you a good deal. 190.
It was 150 a moment ago.
No, 195.
You're going up now.
Perhaps we should go elsewhere, Rugo.
I think so, too.
185.
I start to walk away.
Okay, and now we're going down. All right, well, I guess the more steps we'll take, we'll see if we can find you in a better spot. Thank you, Bleach.
Okay. 160 for all 3 parts.
I turn around as I walk away. Checking in with Jax, most of all.
Yeah,
Yeah, do it. That's
Max
all
as
right.
well.
All right, we'll do it.
Very good. You wait here. I go get the parts for you.
All right.
He walks into the sort of like store that you're behind. It's an old parts store. Takes about 5 minutes, and then he comes out. He's holding 3 things in his arms. One of them is for sure a radium conductor. One of them is an Intellex V. And then I will need from you, Rugo, a mechanics check at difficulty 3, I think.
Are we able to help at all?
Do you have any
So-
ticks in mechanics or any skill that
Probably
might be
not.
able to help?
No.
Jace was your mechanic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Okay, in that case, you do
I,
have a black
No.
die to this because I'm going to use a dark side point.
It's very
I do not.
fair.
I would like to
Shit.
What's the difficulty?
3
3.
when the
with
hold
one
on,
black die.
when the bloke comes out with all the stuff,
Black
I like
die.
to sort of observe him and use my skills of perception as well as my streetwise to try and find out if he's trying to pull one over. Can I give him a boost die for that?
Well, let's see. You know what? I might get you to roll me a dice. Roll me just your own streetwise check at difficulty 3. Two successes and an advantage. He seems like pretty chill in the way that he's kind of walking out, but there's just at the last moment, as he kind of looks up at you guys, these big dark Rhodian eyes, he kind of glances over at you and averts his gaze pretty quickly, and you get the sense that this guy's just shifty. It's not necessarily that he's doing you over or doing anything wrong necessarily right now, but he's for sure like a super shifty dude. Because of that, you can have a boost die added. Rugo, do your mechanics check him.
All right. That's going to help me only a
Good
little.
luck.
Thank you.
I sort of lean over and say, like, we can't trust this bloke as far as we could throw him.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the pod right now. Mechanics, you said?
Yes.
Wow, a failure and 2 threats. He hands
You're
you.
probably looking at my pool going, Myth, Cord, that is not a very good pool. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because
I
Jace was
don't
your
have
mechanic.
anything yet in mechanics.
Yes.
Yet.
He,
Being a bit of
He points at the pieces. He hands you an Intellex 5. He hands you a radium conductor, and he hands you a vocabulator for an R unit, and says,
See? Bleach good for it. Cool.
All right, it's all here.
Alright. 175.
All right, 175.
No, he's under 160.
I know, my brain is, I am getting
You
very
sure?
old. 160.
Yes, he's under 160.
All right. 160.
Nah, but I don't know. 160.
You handed him 160 credits?
Yes.
You
And
have that
are
on
they
you?
Chips?
It's,
Or that's a
it's
great question. How
like
do
a
we,
little
who
thing.
who is our money? Or are we swiping a card?
I would say
great
that we'd be. I'd say that we'd be. We each have about 120 on us, but I'd say we'd be
Oh.
prepared for this. So I'd have already given him like half of mine, so he has enough.
Who is my credits?
Yep, you two work it out who handed what credits over to whom. You guys have a few spare credits that you've been saving for a rainy day like this, because when you guys first landed here in the stolen T1 shuttle that belonged to the to Trips, you part scuttled the thing. I'm assuming it is somewhere very far away in the jungle now, with all the bits taken off of it that you could grab and carry that could be sold. When you did so, you made 374 credits, which you split 3 ways, and that's the credits that you're pulling from now. The rest of the credits that you've earned from working have been just put towards rent and food and daily living and stuff. General survival and general upkeep. Yeah, so you hand him the credits. Credits are like it's like a weird little USB chip most of the time, but it comes in there's a few different ways. He says, good doing business with you. And then he heads back inside. Now,
170. What was it? 160?
it was 116
Yes.
total.
No.
You
53 credits each.
you have these parts. You have the other parts that Nuada got last week, which was yesterday in game. Nuada, there was no work for you today. Mill
Yeah,
was not there. When you but you are privy to her schedule. She is off doing some sort of you're not high enough clearance to know stuff with that guy
All right.
that came through. But you do know that person was
Which person?
the Imperial officer that came through.
Right.
Was a Commodore and is known as Commodore Trait Roll. And I'll write that down for you in here. And you gained some information
Not with a
today
name
by
like that. I'm out.
The only thing that you really know about him was the stuff that you picked up before. He commands a Lancer class frigate, which is in your handouts. You should be able to see what that looks like now, what those types of ships are. It's not one of those big Imperial destroyers that you might recognize from classic Star Wars media. It's a slightly different looking thing. And that is sitting just outside of Bombara at the moment. It's not creating like one of those Imperial blockades or anything like that, but it is sitting here.
All right.
And she was doing some stuff with him today. Whatever it was presumably to do with the mining thing that they were discussing. So you didn't really have any work to do today other than check her schedule, which had been cleared. And she's been off with the Imperials today. So I don't know what you did with that time, but you eventually ended up here. Dax would have just woken up, and you guys have the evening to do with what you want. It's probably getting a little late. You do have a job that you can work on from Charlene. Now, Dax, Charlene would have contacted you to tell you to visit her before you take on this job, before you depart. And but you do have all these other parts as well. If you want to go back and try and build the droid, you can attempt to do that. Or you can do whatever you want. What do you guys do next?
I don't think I had this armor on when I went to meet Bleach, by the way.
Okay. Yep.
But I think for this job, though, I would.
Right. Well, I suppose while we're leaving the back alley, and I would mutter quietly to the other two, I have a job that we could do for a bit of extra money. Or if you lot need to go to sleep, I can try to do it myself.
Is
Put
it the
Charlene.
one?
The holocron?
Yeah. That's right.
You did all hear that, though, right? She mentioned
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, to all of us.
We're going with you. I'm not
Right?
Thought we were
letting you
going
do that by
together.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
She
was
asked
giving you
for
the
all of us.
option.
Oh, I don't
Right.
think there's an option. We're going with you. If there's an holocron involved, Jedi artifact? Going.
Yeah, maybe we don't say that part of
Maybe
it.
don't use that word. Public.
All right, then
No one-
follow
no one
me.
heard me.
I glance around. Are we being watched?
Good question. Give me
Why did you
a
bring it up?
vigilance check with, let's say, 3 difficulty.
I would like to give her a boost as I'm also looking around, as I always do.
You can do your own check.
All right.
I can reroll
Yeah.
without the boost.
Wow. The epic failure.
Wow.
Not from
4
me.
failures,
Not
but
looking.
2 advantages. And then Nuada generated 2 successes and 1 threat. So a full full house. You guys had this conversation out of the back in the kind of backyard of an old parts store. So there's probably just a bunch of junk lying around, and you're essentially in a back alley. So you're not actually being watched. It doesn't feel like you're being watched. It doesn't. You don't get the sense that you are. I would say though that if you linger here for too long, you'll probably draw attention. If a group of militiamen walk by, or troopers, or some sort of security of some kind, they might end up finding it curious that you 3 are loitering in this back alley. And also you suspect that what you're holding is stolen items, but it's kind of hard to prove.
We should keep walking.
Yeah, let's head back to ours, and Ruger, you can put that stuff someplace safe, and then we'll head over to the cantina. Right, all right. So I'm walking
Alright.
out. I'm
Yeah.
walking towards home.
I follow.
We can fast track all of that if you want. You go back,
Yeah.
you drop the
Please.
stuff off. In the corner there is this sort of art-built R3 unit. You stash the things and head back out. Now, I'm presuming that you guys are armed and you're set up in a way that you guys can carry your weapons around. The force pikes might draw some attention because it is kind of a specific type of weapon, but it is unmarked. It's not like this is a clearly stolen thing. This would pass, you're pretty sure this would pass under like imperial scrutiny if they were like looking at this thing. There isn't, it's for sure an unmarked thing. It's not stolen, or if it was, it's completely clean now. And that goes for your rifle as well. So you guys can be walking around with these weapons. It is not crazy that you would be doing so. And they don't really betray anything, or, you know, it doesn't pull any sort of eyes towards you.
It's good to know.
You drop off the stuff and then head to the Duskside Lounge where Charlene is. And that's what happens. Once again, we find you guys stepping into this kind of pretty typical looking cantina. It is a relatively average looking evening if you're the type that is able to frequent this bar, this lounge. There are the usual patrons that you might recognize. However, this evening there is a big group of Umbaran militiamen sat next to a table of clones. And I think the three of you wouldn't be too comfortable. There is a pretty strong presence of military that's starting to creep into this city gear. Also, it's odd because it wasn't too long ago that these two groups were fighting one another.
Yeah.
It's strange to see them almost mingling, not quite, but close enough.
Are the bounty hunters here?
There is no sign of the Feline bounty hunter and the other four that were watching you.
Alright.
But you can each give me vigilance checks again. This time
Same
it'll
difficulty?
be 3 difficulty again, I think, yeah.
Alright.
Like you probably want to be doing these every time you step into one of these
Success.
cantinas. 1 success. Dax is all just cancelled out. And 3 successes and a threat. Yeah, I think Dax, you're probably your eyes drift over towards Charlene herself, maybe, and her presence probably gives you some sense of safety or understanding that there isn't as much danger or whatever. However, the other two,
Hold on, that's not a real
Yeah.
roll.
Yes, a setback.
This
oh,
one
you
is-
still have the setback, right?
Why do I have a
You don't have a
blue in
boost.
there?
You got to click out.
I gotta click away. There it is.
Okay, 1 advantage. Yeah, you probably glance around the room and recognize that everyone in here is in some way dangerous or dodgy, but not really out to get you or not particularly interested in you. Nuada, however, you see one person is watching you as you move through the cantina. There's a human man in some sort of pretty basic looking clothing, a dark grey jacket, just sitting in one of these booths, quite relaxed, arm up on the side, but it's that kind of relaxed, but you get the sense that he's part coiled as well. And his eyes follow you across the room for a moment before meeting yours and then glancing towards the back room where, or that kitchen where Charlene awaits. Are all 3 of you going to try and head back there again?
No.
No. I would go alone.
Okay. So the other 2, you sit on a random table somewhere or just loiter about
Yeah.
the bar.
What does he look like?
Who?
The rogue
A rogue.
looking at me.
A rogue looking at you. Kind of pretty sort of average looking humans, maybe in his 30s. His hair is dark, but it's starting to age. Kind of a scruffy-ish beard, and
Is he carrying anything? Like weapons?
you can see
Like a blaster.
a blaster pistol on his hip.
Yeah, okay.
Not completely out of like the ordinary for anyone in here though. Yeah, he stops looking at you and looks away, and sort of just
Right.
nurses his drink. Could just be a passing sort of pilot, but the way that he was sat and watching you as you walked in, there was something to it, I think, is what I'll give you on that. He was kind of just watching you rather than casually
May I
looking.
use my force power?
To what?
See if I see him again.
Okay, yeah, give me that dice roll. Take off all the difficulties and stuff. I guess it
Oh,
doesn't
fuck. Sorry.
matter. That's
One
2
second.
blacks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really affect it. 2 black die.
Does it not?
No, because there is no
you
difficulty.
sure?
You're just rolling. The only thing that matters is the force die. There is no difficulty to this.
All right.
You want to take those?
No.
Want to flip one?
No.
Okay. What does happen here is you do get that same horrible foreboding sense, that dread that something is coming for you, heading towards you. The same kind of feeling you might have if you were in a huge body of water and a shark was swimming towards you. You could see the fin. But that's really it. You just get this very horrible and strong sensation of something like that. And you hear Charlene kind of pick up in the back. Hey, kid! Help me here with this, will ya? I'm getting too old for this. And she's kind of shouting towards Dax.
Yeah, I come over and help her with whatever she's telling me to help with.
All right, what are you doing? You doing it tonight?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. You gotta be careful. They're moving it. Tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. So, I don't know if they're gonna have people, they're gonna have these guys, and she kind of nods towards the clone troopers. Or if you're gonna have a nice, sweet in and out. Yeah, you've been to the spaceport, right?
Yeah.
There's a cargo tunnel right at the back. That's your best way in.
Okay.
There's something else. I need you to take someone with you. A VIP
Why?
of sorts. Did you say why?
Yeah.
He's a buyer. Yeah, there's something in there that he wants. Something a pretty penny. Yeah, you understand it's pretty expensive. The rest of the shit, we'll figure it out between us, and you'll still get your cut for doing the job. There's one item in there, and if you open it up, it's gonna look like an old cube. Don't worry about it. But that's his, okay?
Why is he coming with us?
Well, that would be because he wants to make sure he gets his hands on that cube.
And didn't he hire you to get the cube for him?
He is a special buyer. He's had his feelers out for years. And whenever something like this comes through, he told me to reach out. Now, I thought you were going to dip in and dip out. But well, he's here, so. Listen, he's good for the money. He's not too bad at what he does. He's worked for me before, and I've known him a long time. He's not the worst person you could meet. And truth be told, I don't know too much about what he gets up to, but he's a bit here and a bit there, a bit woo, a bit away. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you're saying this is the only way we take the job?
Yeah, it's non-negotiable.
Right. Okay.
All right. His name's Hopp. He's out there. Human, dog jacket.
Right. Do you have any more information on where this item is?
Well, I'm guessing it's going to belong to whatever the Imperial shuttle is. So find whichever one belongs to them. You want to find the cargo. Get it off the repulsor lift. That thing will track you straight back here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You can take one of the speeders too. Here. Throws you the
One
key
that can
for it.
fit all four of us?
Fine. She throws you 2 keys.
Right. I take them and I head out.
Okay. Yeah, you head back out. Sort of loitering around the bar are Rugo and New Order.
Right. So I'll look around. Would I be able to easily recognize who she was talking about? Who?
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Hopp.
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 It's the rogue.
So yeah, but I didn't notice the rope before.
Oh, I know.
I look around, I spot him, and I say, all right. And I sort of very low volume tell them, like, we're supposed to bring that bloke with us right over there. His name's Hopp. He's the buyer
I see.
for the special item. And I sort of look meaningfully at them. And then
Isn't it unusual for
start-
the buyer to come with us?
yeah, it's very unusual. This is very strange. And I don't like it, but I didn't see a way around it. We can either try and deal with him on the way there, or after we get it.
I saw him
What do you
looking
mean?
at us when we walked in. Which means he already knew.
Right. Well, I guess we need to decide now if we plan on making this deal or not with him.
What do you mean?
I mean, we know what we're after, and we may not want to give it up. My head is so close to theirs, and I'm talking so quietly.
Yeah.
Right, well,
What do you
I don't-
propose?
I say that we keep our eye on him. We're gonna have to at least leave here with him and head to the location. Trying to figure out what he's about.
Is he the one who found it?
No,
He's just the
I don't
buyer.
know how Charlene found it. He just wants it. I don't know why.
I wonder why.
Right. Either way, we can't trust him at all. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hunt there with him and try to figure out what he's about. And if we decide that we want to keep it, then we'll have to deal with him then. Get our money and get off the planet as fast as we can. You think you can put that droid together quickly?
I didn't even see if it fit yet. I don't know. The parts are going to fit if they're going to work, but I want to say yes.
Well, are we prepared to get this item in our possession and then let this fella buy it from us?
No.
Might have information we need.
He might.
No, the item might.
Of course it will.
Maybe he's one of us. Maybe he's one of
I
us.
doubt it.
Well, we'll have to figure that out in the way, and then I head over, unless they stop me.
Can I sense the force with him? Maybe he is one
Detect
of
magic.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's kind of a
exactly.
detect
That's what
magic
I'm doing.
check.
us. I just roll the force.
Roll me the force. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we have.
Yeah. Whoa, what the fuck?
You have 2 force through?
Yeah, you have 2 force die?
Do you have one on there already?
Have you unlocked a second force thing?
I have no idea.
Your force rating is 1.
I have no idea. It actually says 2 on all the powers, and I don't know why. I don't know if that was a thing that I did or
You didn't
if
buy
it
another.
just upgraded.
There's
No,
no way.
this-
No,
No,
there's
you
Not
must-
possible.
way.
Yeah,
it's not
there's no
possible.
way.
So it's 1. Yeah, it's all.
There's no way.
We'll take the
Okay.
first roll there though, which is the dark force point. So
No. We re-roll. So we've always been consistent. If we have a screwed up pool, we re-roll.
But it's not a screwed up pool.
Yeah, it is. It's screwed up pool.
Alright, well,
Re-roll
it's
it.
the dark one
it's
anyway.
done. Still done.
There it is. Perfect.
Um,
Gotta stay consistent.
you don't sense any force sensitivity from him, but that
No, I doubt it.
doesn't mean anything really.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I start walking over there and I sort of motion them to come along with me.
Okay.
Just
You
gonna
each
walk
sit
over
down.
to him.
You just walk over and sit down, or you walk over and
Sit by Aragorn.
I walk over to him and I motion for him to come outside with us. And then I head outside.
Make eye contact and walk out.
yeah. Do
All right, he's already done it.
right. The three of you wander over, kind of try and act as casually as possible. And this individual is on you immediately.
What? No.
Knew it.
What?
I knew this was happening.
What does Hopp
What?
do?
I knew this was gonna. I was like, I was about to type it in chat as well and be like, hey, this is gonna be a fun little thing where Brad brings in people.
Sorry.
Hello there.
I feel like this canonically
does Hopp
doesn't
do?
happen. What does Hopp do?
I think Hopp looks down at his drink that he was kind of nursing, looks up at the kids, and just kind of stares directly into Dax's eyes. You them?
I sort of give him a short nod, and then I nod towards the door, and I head there.
You're gonna have to do a little better than that, kid. He's not the talkative. Which one of you three is the talkative one here? What about you, Braids? And he looks directly at Nuada.
I think I look at Dax. I don't know if I would
I
say anything.
step a little
want to,
closer.
but-
I step closer to this man, and I say, maybe we should talk about this out back where the speeders are. And I show him 2 keys.
Is he still looking at me when Dax says this?
He's Hopp would be facing you, but his eyes would dart to Hopp. I mean to Dax. Sorry.
Pop's
Okay.
human.
Yes,
Hopp's human.
Hopp
Yeah,
is human.
sorry. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then back to Nuada.
Braids. Yes, perhaps
So-
not here.
So
Perhaps outside.
Hopp finishes the rest of his drink quite quickly. Like,
I will mirror him.
and he kind of just tosses it aside and says, all right, kid, lead the way.
All right.
How old do you look? Brad said you had gray.
Mm-hmm. Mid-30s, you would guess.
Okay.
And before Hopp gets up, he kind of reaches behind him and picks up what looks like just a rag. All right.
It's a rag droid. I've seen those before.
I head outside, and I sort of come on. I look back at Rugo and nod
I'm
him
already-
along.
I think I was already like on my way out. It was awkward. And then I just sort of either stepped in front of you or just wanted to get out of the situation and walked out.
All right. So
I
we
think,
had out the.
I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
think Hopp would notice that and maybe give Rugo a little like pat on the back, kind of condescendingly.
What an ass.
All
I
right.
love it.
So we head out the front door and we go around to where the speeders are.
Yeah, it's a relatively secluded area where there are these speeders that are left comfortably. No one really messes with them because people don't really mess with Charlene, whichever side of the scum and villainy line that you are. And it's the same speeders as you had before, the M68s. There are two there that you can watch up next to, and you actually have some privacy here for a moment if you want to speak. Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Okay.
Do you plan
Right.
to sell it?
So what?
The object?
What do you know about the object?
Just what it looks
I
like so
believe
we
we're
can get
having
it.
a staring contest at the moment. Should we roll?
And you can do contested rolls if you want, but I don't know
Yes,
what
please.
you're.
Can you?
Vigilance?
What are you trying to do?
Either vigilance or cool, I would suggest.
What are you trying to gain from one another? Or is it just a test?
It's just I think it's just a test of each other.
A
I
test
suppose.
yeah, you could roll discipline or cool. This is simply contested, so you just roll without the difficulty die, and it's against one another. Now, I need to give Greg a sheet
Sheet.
because I've had to hide
Hello,
him.
Greg.
I've been hiding for so long.
Give me 1 second.
The light is so blinding.
Welcome.
I think
Thank you.
Welcome to the live.
if it's all right, Greg, you can choose what we roll.
Yeah, and
Ooh,
also
discipline.
Greg, for the sake of playing, I don't know how familiar you are with the sheet because you didn't play any test games with us or anything like that. But at the very top of the sheet, you'll see that there is the dice pool, and that is where you add your difficulty. So for this, you won't need to add any, but that's where that is when it comes to it. And
I'm so happy, Greg.
under your skills, you scroll down to where you find whichever one you're going to roll, either cool or discipline, and then on the far right hand side there's a dice that you can click, and that will roll the dice. Tell me if any of that doesn't make sense.
No, that makes sense. We're just doing. So my sheet's here, but I don't have any stuff, so just a flat roll. I don't have any modifiers or anything.
Right, yeah, no
Okay.
dice are added because this is just a contested roll, so it's you
Okay.
versus her
Okay.
on discipline or
understand.
cool under the skills.
Your choice.
Let's say discipline.
All right.
Wow. 1 success and 1 triumph from New Order, and 1 success and 1 advantage from Hopp. So this actually counts as 2 successes to New Order and 1
Close.
success for Hopp. And you obviously have a triumph there and an advantage. It's close, but I think
What? I rolled a triumph.
you roll the triumph.
Mhm.
I think whatever. I don't know if this is like Dutch courage because you were drinking. Nuada, just to give you a little edge here, but something, I think you're both aware. I think with both of these roles, you would both be aware of each other's sense of discipline or whatever that stoicism is that you're trying to kind of measure each other up with. But something in this causes Hopp to blink just first. And
I think
how do you interpret
if
that?
I may, I don't think I'm not trying to intimidate you. But
Doesn't really matter if I'm going to sell it or not. You get paid either way. But
just
no,
curious.
I'm not going to sell it. Not yet.
Not yet. All right.
All right, then.
What is it anyway?
Oh, that's a need-to-know basis.
Shit, hold on. She told us what it was. She flat out told us what the item was, right?
You are all
Yeah.
aware what it is, yeah.
We know
Yeah,
what
like
it is.
I assumed that he knew she told us what the fucking job was, so that's why I was like, are you going to sell it? I didn't realize he didn't know she told us. Okay, cool. The intrigue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's very, it's worth a lot of money. They're very expensive.
Yeah.
Would we know roughly how much it's worth? Like 10,000 credits, something like that?
I think you can roll me a... let me see what this would be. And this is just for accuracy. I'm going to give you an answer regardless. Let's go with... This would be an intelligence, either an education, maybe a law check. I'll also allow underworld. You can all make the check if you want. And it would be a difficulty 2. No, difficulty 1 for you guys. So
Okay,
education,
this has to
law,
do-
or underworld.
Does this have to do with, well, this is
I can help you with law
to
if
get an
that's what you
idea.
roll.
Jedi law?
Well, you guys just roll it yourselves. I'm going to give everyone
Oh.
the chance to roll this.
All right.
Because I think it'd be interesting if you all have different ideas of how much it would cost.
Can I
Yes.
argue
Yeah.
Good point.
what is it? Blue is a boost? What's the
Yes.
green one?
Blue is a
never mind,
boost.
green
is
Green
already
is
the
just a
tab.
basic ability die.
I would like a boost if this has to do with Jedi lore.
You have a
Considering I
reduced difficulty because of Jedi stuff.
Okay. All right, never mind. I
That's
just
why it's
wanted
only
one
difficulty.
more than the others. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, one difficulty.
Yeah. You got to add one as
Oh.
well, PB.
Don't forget to click out of the box.
One
Oh,
difficulty.
sorry.
Because I always do.
Hopp, you don't need to make this roll, by the way.
I don't care about this roll.
Just rolling
You-
again with one
You
difficulty.
know about,
right,
about
okay,
how
hold
much
on.
they're worth. And in fact, I'll type it to you.
Law. Boom. Success.
Success, and success. So all of you succeed. Jedi holocrons can be sold for anywhere around 100,000 credits.
Holy shit!
Depending on what the holocron is, you could get 100,000 credits pretty easily. It could be a bit less depending on if it's like an old or tattered or broken one or something like that. But if it's a specific kind of holocron, like an ancient one that does contain a lot of knowledge, you're looking at 100,000 credits, maybe more. But also, to the three of you, this would probably be priceless. I don't know if you would even
Oh
want
yeah,
to sell
absolutely.
this.
Yeah, no,
This is
of
the
course
type
not.
of thing that this is like,
Like
the ultimate.
finding a religious item and then yeah, absolutely.
It's like finding Jesus.
Selling it to somebody for fucking sacrilege.
Some holocrons are just kind of like casual things that just hold just information or like recordings and stuff and aren't really worth a lot. You would also be aware of the fact that that's a Jedi holocron. A Sith holocron also exists, and I don't think there's any chance any of you would have seen it or really would know much or anything
Right.
about the Sith at all, because they've long since been removed and dealt with. But Sith holocrons are even more rare, and they're out there as well. The right kind of buyer would also purchase for a Sith holocron for around the same kind of money. But again, we're getting crazy with this idea of a Sith holocron. Either way, it would contain knowledge, and either way, it would be very, very valuable to you, and potentially worth a lot of money. So,
May I?
yeah, you're all aware of it for whatever reason over the years.
Okay. And may I ask why you want to come with us?
No. And then Hopp kind of turns around and hops in one of the back seats of
Wait.
one of the speeders. He stops
I
in his
will
tracks.
walk right up to the speeder. It's very dangerous. What we're
Yeah.
going to do.
You three up to it?
We are. I just want to make sure you are.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be the most dangerous or stupidest thing I've ever done, but
I'd say stealing from the Empire is pretty stupid. And I want to gauge him right now. I want to see like what his reaction is to the Empire.
Double, give me those disciplines again.
Yep.
No difficulties. Just clear the dice ball at the top and roll disciplines each. And it is again just contested rolls. 1 success, 1 advantage from Hopp, and 2 successes and 2 advantages from Nuada. So again, you guys can interpret this however you want to. But I guess really what this comes down to is that just flat D&D rules is that Nuada again just is able to see some truth to your reaction, whatever it is that you see.
Whatever you want to give me. Yeah. I'm just trying to gauge your feelings on the Empire. And that's all I'll say.
I think he kind of like squints a little bit and feels a little uneasy at the mention. And you can kind of see that.
Uneasy as
So he
at the risk or
no. So he I'll give you a little bit more too. That rag that is more than a rag, it's rather goes over his shoulders, but he kind of like pulls on that a little bit and he looks not like frightened's too strong of a term, but he definitely like doesn't
there's
like
some
the sound
emotion and passion about the Empire. Okay. Then when that moment flickers over your face, can I roll a charm now as like a backup to kind of maybe slightly smile and nod a little in acknowledgement and have a moment that we both maybe potentially dislike the Empire?
I don't even know if you need to roll a charm. You can if you want, but your
Only
presence
reason
rating is high, so you almost can lawyer that you have a 4 presence rating, so you can pretty much just dictate some small measure of charm regardless, because it's kind of beyond roleplay, you know what I mean?
All right.
You're allowed
I'm
to exude some
setting up a long game with Hopp here.
some charm and authority, but
So-
if you feel comfortable rolling it, then you can as well.
No, I trust Greg
Yeah,
implicitly. So, yeah. Then yeah, that's the exchange basically. I was gauging your feeling for the Empire, and then I acknowledge it and meet you at your level. I don't necessarily go overboard, but again, I'm mirroring you so that you know that we're on the same page about stealing from the Empire. It's just dangerous by itself. And then I nod, and that's it. I drop it. I go, okay, cool, we're on the same page, and I'll hop in the fucking thing.
Yeah, so these are 2-seaters. So who's with who here?
I will hop with him.
Okay.
Oh, you're driving then.
All right.
And Hopp kind of like kicks back a little bit.
Okay. And then Rugo and Dax get into the other land speeder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm going to guess that Dax leads the way. How much experience?
Yeah.
Does Hopp have a lot of experience on Umbara? I know you have some because you have a relationship with Charlene. But do you know your way around quite well?
He would probably know his way from wherever he docked to Charlene's place, and maybe a couple alleyways here and there, but not like super well knowledge.
Yeah, that's you got to do the return route here. We'll say Dax leads then as the 2 land speeders head out, and you guys head towards the spaceport here in gear. So, Rugo and Dax,
Yes.
is there anything that you guys discuss? Because you have a moment away from Hopp here as the short drive to this place. It's probably only like 5 minutes because this is a pretty decent city, but it's not enormous. And the spaceport sits at the most northern end of town. Is there any discussion? It doesn't have to be. We can fast travel over to that place. I'm just curious, since you have a moment away from this new guy that's with you.
The
You're
three
with
of
Hopp.
us. I'm with.
No.
It's two-seaters. These are two-seater land speeders.
Yep. Just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd say anything. I think there'd be a lot of, I think, eye contact, like uncertain eye contact, you know, like that reassuring of, but I think also I'm watching a lot of that interaction.
Yeah,
Trying to
this is
figure out-
like,
I'm
this
trying
is
to
after
not-
that whole thing, though. You guys are in a car right
as
now.
we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine Ryan Gosling in Drive. That's Dax next to you.
You fucker!
And you're in the land speeder
Mm-hmm.
with him. And behind you is the other land speeder as you guys are
Yeah,
moving through the streets.
Is Harrison Ford in Drive?
Yes, you're Harrison
Right.
Ford from Drive. I remember when he was in that movie too.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know. I don't trust him.
I
But I don't.
look over.
You said take care of him. What do you mean by that?
I mean,
Just leave him?
if we don't want to have this thing, we're gonna have to take care of him one way or another.
You implying harming him?
How else are we gonna do it?
You could just leave him somewhere. We don't have to harm him.
That's pretty harmful. To leave someone out in the unbarren jungle? It's a night planet. You can't see anything. There's
saying
dangerous
leave him out in the
creatures out
jungle.
there.
I'm saying leaving him. Anyway, I don't think there's any reason for violence.
There's literally no way that we can take this thing, which is what both of you want to do, by the way. You both said there's no way that we are letting him take this. So unless we can convince him to give it to us, there's no way we take it from him without harming him in some way. Whether we leave him out stranded in the middle of nowhere, or we knock him out and tie him up until we figure out what to do with him. So if you want this thing, you're going to have to figure that out. Because if we take it from him and then just go about our day, we will have bounty hunters and mercenaries on us by tomorrow morning. They'll
You
be
don't think
waiting
we
at our
already
door.
do? You don't think we already do? We already have
Charlene
people.
will send people to our home to kill us.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know. I don't think... It just throws a lot of spanners in the works. Don't even know what...
Right.
Maybe he'll just let us look at it, or maybe we could, what's the word? Maybe we could just focus on the artifact and then give it to him, you know? We don't need it. I don't know.
Right.
Just
well,
drive.
Okay. And I guess we drive the rest of the way there without saying anything.
Yeah.
Dead
This
silence.
awkward silence. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
The force pike is awkwardly between us. It's like a hockey stick
Yeah.
in between the seats. in the car.
Like when
And
you have
that's
to
sort
bring
of what's
home
happening.
some
It's-
annoying thing in the car. And it's
Right,
just-
exactly. Yeah, and you're like, why do we have this wrapping paper? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. Is it's like sort of over my leg, but like also sort of here. I think for Dax, as Dax is maybe driving with the horse bike, just sort of, yeah, right there,
The
really uncomfortably.
The two land speeders pull up to the spaceport here. It's a huge kind of circular building. It's white steel. It's very well made, and this isn't a Tatooine Mos Eisley like just sand pit that they use. This thing is a pretty decent spaceport. It houses 4 large bays and 6 smaller bays, and each one is kind of a segmented dome that opens at the top. Towards the rear of this huge sort of segmented structure is a control tower, and this spaceport is one of the only spots in the city that backs onto the jungle because it kind of sports these natural defenses from anything that might be in there. I assume you bring these land speeders kind of not up to the front door, and you kind of maneuver these things towards the rear and look for the entrance that Charlene suggested. Unless your plan is to just literally walk in the front. This place is open, but it doesn't seem to be busy. It's far more busy during the day, quote unquote, because there's a lot more comings and goings. But as is the nature of the varying moons here and the other cities on the planet, they will use this and the bays constantly overnight. But at the moment, it seems pretty empty. In fact, there's not really much going on here at all. The sounds of the actual city proper are behind you. This thing is a little outside of the city. What's the plan, I guess?
Right. So,
What's the plan?
yeah, I would try to make sure that we park in a way that isn't, obvious that there's 2 speeders parked right there. And then we all get out, and I would say, right, well, how are you with stealth, Hopp?
I'm all right. How are you with stealth? You all ask a lot of questions. How are you with stealth?
How are we supposed to infiltrate and get the item if we don't know what you can do? If you're insisting
are
on
a
coming with
team
us.
That have worked together before. I need to know what your skill set is, because you could wait here in the speeders and we can go and get it and come back, if that's what you prefer.
I'd rather go with you if it's all the same. Have you never taken a job where you had someone
No.
outside of your crew?
No.
Oh, God. Charlene.
If you prefer, we can take you back.
No, it's fine. I'm just going to have to renegotiate, I think, a bit with Charlene. She, whatever, doesn't matter. I'd rather go with you, but you're the crew. You all work together. How would you normally tackle something like this? You parked expertly, by the way, there, Whisper. And he looks at Dax.
Okay. Well,
We
I
don't
need
need
to
your life
know-
story. We just need to know what you can do and what your skill set is.
I can take care of myself. I can provide cover if you need it. He shows his blaster. I know you saw this over at Charlene's place. So
Okay, good.
is it
Take
a
care of
hand?
myself.
Is it like a DL-44 or something? What is it?
it is specifically a
Stop.
Mersun
There's a
Model
reason for it
434.
then.
So it's like
Say
a
it
blaster.
again.
It's a Mersun Model 434.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
I will. I'll say, all right, follow me, and we're going quiet, and I will try to move stealthily up to the back entrance.
Yeah. Charlene also gave you a scramble key, but I don't know which of you is the designated slicer. You get up to these rear doors. You can see that they are They're clearly used as a sort of alternative cargo entrance, but they seem to be very rarely used. Some of the jungle is even encroached on the back part of this building, vines creeping up over the doorway, but it seems like a pretty large set of blast doors. This thing, when it opens, will probably make a lot of noise, but you're also just way out of the way. So it's unlikely that anyone is going to hear it unless they're right on the other side of these doors. However, you will need to... This is where a droid would come in handy, and it would do the thing where its little arm would come out and just and slice through the door. Unfortunately, you're going to have to do it
Sorry, what?
yourself. You don't have a droid. But you do have a scramble key, which is also known as a luck breaker. And it is sort of an anti-security device capable of overriding alarms, bypassing security systems, opening computer locks, and things like that. And that's essentially what you need to do here. So you're going to need to slice this door, unless you have some other way of opening it, like a lightsaber, you know, Qui-Gon style, and that kind of thing.
Don't tempt me.
No, we do not.
Right. I am going to... I would like to use my disguise. I would like to take a few minutes and say, hold on a moment. And I would like to disguise myself.
Okay.
As best I can with my disguise kit. And let's say that I still look human, but I look different, perhaps a bit older, and maybe like a different hair color and like a fake beard or something like that.
Okay.
And then I'll take out the thing and I'll say, wait back here. And so if I open the door and someone's there, they'll only see me. And I go to use the item that you described.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna have to slice this door, so it will be a computer's check. With the scramble key, you'll get an upgrade to this, so you can upgrade it by 1.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any other bullshit.
No.
Okay.
I will... what's the difficulty?
The difficulty is, on this door, a 3.
I will use a light side for a boost. Or for another upgrade. Sorry.
Yep.
Never mind.
What do you mean, never mind?
I mean, never mind. Good luck.
Okay.
Wow, a threat. You access this door and you start trying to slice through this computer. The first thing that happens, I think, is this. When you're slicing the door, there's a prompt that comes up for interfacing with the scrambler. It poses a single question to you with some lettering and numbering that you need to manually input to allow this thing to interface with the door itself. The hint it provides is a well-known core world, and the display reads this. Chat gets to be in emo-only mode for this.
Nice. Get fucked, chat.
Right.
Away you go.
Oh.
That's a tough one. And Hopp just kind of leans back a little bit.
I don't think we're there. He's there.
Yeah,
alone.
I look at this and I I look over to them and I motion them over.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what this is.
What is Hopp did not walk over, and in the background he yells, "You don't know what it is, do you?"
I walk over to him and say, if you're going to keep shouting like that, I'll put you in one of the speeders myself.
It doesn't matter, because if you don't get this, we're all going to be swarmed anyways, most likely.
So,
Can I roll? See if I know it. Or get a hint. Or is this one of those, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't?
It's a real puzzle, but
Alright.
you can roll to get a hint.
All right. I would like to do that.
I don't know if I want to hint you. You can message it to
Okay,
her.
well, I want one.
You can message it to her, but I
Okay.
don't want it out loud.
Alright.
Anybody who wants a
Time
hint
crunch, but okay.
can roll. Let's
What
see.
are we rolling?
It would be either computers or
Lore.
yeah,
It's a
or
core world.
core worlds. Yeah, computers or core worlds, and the difficulty for the hint is 2. And I'm gonna add a
Nope,
dark
I'm
side
already
point.
rolling.
Okay.
I knew you were
that-
gonna do it! I was like, quick, 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 quick!
I gotta use them because otherwise I forget, and you don't get
Oh,
any
yeah.
light side points otherwise.
you can
Failure,
use
you
a
do not
dark
get
side
a,
point
you do not
on
get a
mine,
hint.
if you'd like.
Are you gonna do this as well for a hint? Yeah, use the dark
So
side point.
I'll re-roll.
Which is
no.
an
I mean-
upgrade, right?
No, don't worry. And yours would. This
Is that
will
don't
be
worry to me?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a dark
An
side
upgrade,
point,
right?
which will. No, because I'm giving you a dark side point, so this is a downgrade.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Core worlds. And that's 2. How many? 2 difficulty?
2 difficulty.
Right.
You get a
Cancels
success
each other out.
and a failure, so they cancel each other out. No hint for you.
Right.
Me either, right?
So close.
I lost the handout. Is it still?
Guess. But I don't know if I can.
It's in the handouts section. It should be there. Oh, it's never mind. We got a shit ton of handouts.
Is it in the handouts?
What?
This
This
the puzzle.
puzzle.
Yeah, it'll be right at the top of your list, but I can just click this button and show it to you again. If you
Okay.
Did you close it? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a guess. Can I just do it?
Yeah, you can guess away. Yeah.
Do I? But it's me,
Yeah, guess.
PB. Okay. The only thing I don't know is the end, but rolled on, right? If the 4 is an A,
Where
it's the
is
only one I know.
Done.
Roll on.
Oh yeah.
But the last 2 aren't accounted for.
I was thinking Deveron. But the only thing
Ah.
is,
If it's scrambled,
if it's scrambled, but also if
isn't that still missing a letter?
yes, all of the vowels would be letters, and the O would be one of the 4s, and I'm not sure if that would make any sense.
And what's the 3 then?
That would be the E.
An S. Oh, E.
A D E D 3 4 4. Unless the L is a V. But I don't know.
Can I roll to see if there's any other way to spell or reference rolled on? Or if I'm on the right track?
Wait, what do you mean?
I just feel like Nuada would know more than PB knows.
Yeah, 100%. You want, what do you mean by other spellings of it, though?
Like
Because
if
technically
maybe
what's in front
it
of
will-
you is in Aurebesh, or like Galactic Basic.
Oh shit.
And-
Okay, so it's
but
not
it
probably what
doesn't.
I'm thinking.
But it doesn't count at all. We're only dealing with English letters and numbers.
Okay.
And it is being
Right,
translated
okay.
through
But what
some
I mean
magical
is-
device in the future that's
Right.
in R2-D2's head that's displaying this show for everyone to watch.
Well, I know that like if there was a moon or planet neighboring or nearby, they might have like a letter and a number.
Right.
Because it's in the same Roldon system.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
Give me another core worlds check. Difficulty
Okay.
2. This time I'm going to spend a dark side point to make it more difficult for you, and you have to click the downgrade button.
Okay.
Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I think I know it.
The black button, right?
I know it, I think
On the left-hand side, you have a downgrade button
Oh,
underneath
right.
one.
it's Aldron.
That would make sense.
It's well known.
How?
Also,
How is
4,
it
4, and
Aldron?
4. There's 3 4s, which are also the A's. The L, so it'll be 4, L, D, 3, R,
Failure
4,
and an
4,
advantage.
N.
Can
Aldron.
I, if I fail but get an advantage, can I give it to him if he rolls? Is that how that works or no?
Here's what it is. You failed.
Right.
But
But
when
he's
he
succeed-
says that, you know he's right.
Okay, which is exactly what happened in roleplay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Because it's well known. Otherwise, I was like, like Rendelli or whatever the other one was. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I
yeah.
knew it, it must be well known because my brain is fucking horrible. Must
Okay,
be a
so we
cool
put
roll of some
Alderaan
sort.
in.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now the slice
Negative
difficulty
ones.
goes
Okay.
down significantly. Give me a computer's check
Yeah.
with 1 difficulty.
Alright. I motion them to back away. So I'm the only one in sight.
I look over to Hopp and smile. Friendly. Because it was his prompt that made us work together.
Hop just kind of thumbs up unknowingly. Good job.
Thank you.
3 successes and an advantage. The huge doors open up,
Good
and
job, Rugo. That was it.
the cargo
Very clever.
tunnel
Thank you.
ahead of you reveals itself to you. The bay you are attempting to find is the one containing the Imperial transport. And you look down a huge corridor, wide open thing. You could fit the land speeders down this thing if you wanted to, but it would be extremely loud. And
I was about to do it.
there is no one standing on the other side of this. There's no one at all in this cargo bay. Like a very long looking kind of thing, like a tunnel almost. From where you are right now, as the 4 of you kind of gather up, maybe again, you can see that this, and you probably just, from all of you will have been to this spaceport, I'm sure, for some reason or another. This isn't where you guys all landed in, but it is where Hopp landed. You
But
get the
we've
sense
been
that,
here.
well, you would probably have been here with Mill and the Baravins at some point. Dax
Right,
will have been
okay.
picking stuff up. Rugo, the same thing for his employer and stuff like that.
Right.
You didn't land your shuttle here, though. When you came to the planet, you probably
Right.
landed in a completely different city and then maneuvered here. So from here, it will provide you physical access to all 10 bays that are available, but it might be a long and exhaustive process. The longer you spend here, the higher your chances are of being caught and questioned or whatever. Another alternative might be to simply find a control panel or the control room itself and locate the ship you're looking for from the terminal that way. Or it's just a matter of walking around and trying to find the particular ship.
Sorry.
There doesn't appear to be a terminal in this corridor where you are right now at the exit, but they would for sure be terminals that you can access if you want to continue trying to like slice and stuff. Yes, what was your question?
Can I look around and see which ones are most protected?
Well, you're
Like
just in a
guarded?
huge cargo tunnel right now. That's the
Right,
issue. You're not
okay.
like looking. This spaceport is huge.
Right.
It's
Okay.
almost the equivalent of like a small.
Star Citizen. Very
It's like Star Citizen. There you go. But like a small airport, a very small airport.
Okay.
With 4 very large bays that would fit large freighters and stuff, and then a bunch of smaller bays. This cargo tunnel gives you access all around the thing, so you could walk the entire circumference of the entire thing and look in every single bay.
I feel like that little shit in class, but can I roll my force power, please?
Yes, you may.
Any difficulty? No, because it's
this is just a force power.
Okay. Fuck's sake.
Dark side again. Now again, you can flip this, take a conflict, and use a light side destiny point to flip that to a light side point and use it if you want. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1 conflict and a light side point, and this becomes a light side point for you.
But now back to being a dark side.
She did flip it, yeah.
She
I
flipped it.
flipped it.
She's
Yeah.
flipping it.
But
She's
you're
so that
using
I can
it.
use it.
and she's using the thing so that she gets to access the foreseeability and get some information.
And then
here.
now it's Brad's dice again.
Right.
That's right.
You
If I don't use it, Dax will use it, so it doesn't matter.
yeah. What you do get from this is you see the 4 of you sneaking around one of the smaller shuttle bays towards a T4A Lambda class shuttle, which is one of the most like classic looking shuttles that there are in Star Wars. One of these things is what you're looking for. And it is here to the rear of this thing. You get another kind of flash of a little like later on of you guys approaching one of these repulsor lifted large cargo crates, which is the crate that you're looking for.
All right.
That is the flash of image that you get. The information that this provides for you is that this would be in one of the smaller bays.
Is it labeled? Am I able to, like,
What?
a corridor or anything?
Oh, yes.
So I know, like, what number?
This is
Go to-
in S Bay 4.
Okay.
I come here a lot. Would I know where that is?
I haven't said anything to you yet.
Yeah, you would if she mentioned it to you. You'd have an idea of where it is.
Do I feel like in this vision, do I see the holocron or no?
You saw the cargo crate. This is where it is.
Perfect. Okay. Then I will blurt that out. It was S what?
S Bay 4.
S Bay 4,
Hopp.
I say.
The jump master is in S Bay 5. Dax and
What?
Hopp would be aware that the smaller bays are towards the front of the thing, the spaceport. So you'd have to maneuver down this corridor, but you would know in which direction to go, in that you have the option here to go left and right. And heading left is going to take you past probably the larger bays at the back, and then you'll come to what will probably be on this side S Bay 6, then 5, then 4. So really the information here is go left and sneak
go
down the
left.
corridor. Yeah.
Did you do that on
If you'd
purpose?
gone right, it would have taken you
Sneaking into an
absolutely
airport?
all night.
Is this payback because I never went left? I swear to God, every time the answer is always left. Anyway.
The answer is just always
Okay.
left. That's all it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's never payback. It's just the answer.
For the rest of our lives.
No, that was a pure
All that's
coincidence.
left.
It was just an absolute pure coincidence. to
Sure
be
it
honest.
was.
I didn't even
Mhm.
think about it, I promise.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, you
For
guys
those of you that
sneaking,
don't know, I
you
went the
sneaking through
wrong
this
way in
place?
another-
Or are
Yes.
you just going to kind of walk as if you own the place? There isn't currently anyone here, but at any moment someone could appear in this corridor from one of the bays or out of the many doors.
I think
that
I'm
are along
walking
this
like I own
corridor.
the place. I'm not entirely that great at
Um,
sneaking, especially with armor that isn't mine.
How well lit is it?
It's not the worst lit. It's not super dimly lit. It's a cargo tunnel that's on the outer rim of this kind of circular building.
Right.
So it's
it's
designed for just huge transport things to be taking things off of freighters and shuttles and stuff like that.
Would hiding even be in, like, are there little...
There's
I don't know.
I should probably say that there's tons of little doors that you could duck into, so long as they're open. And there's tons of freight here that you could hide between, old freight that's left behind and boxes and huge cargo things and cranes and equipment that you could potentially maneuver quietly down this corridor. And duck in between. It's obviously just going to take a lot longer to do this stealthily than it is to just go or run or however you want to approach this. There is plenty of ways that you could potentially hide if you wanted to, or at least move forward.
I would suggest that we hide. I think we should hide and take our time. Go quietly. Quickly as we
Alright.
can, but quietly.
What's the order in which everyone would be lined up? Sorry, I just want to know
I
what
will be
order
next
we're
to
in.
you.
Okay.
I'll be in front.
And Rugo would be in the
I'll
middle,
be-
or would Rugo be behind us with... Okay,
Probably
I would be in the
behind.
middle.
Oh, all
in the
right.
middle.
So it's you
All
and
right.
I
I
in
would
the
be
right.
leading. Well, I'm pretty out of my element here. How are we moving through this? Are
I
we just
don't
like, are
think-
we sneaking from like spot to spot and hiding and like looking around the corner, or are we?
I think
That's
so.
because
That's what he suggested. Yeah. Move one at a time. Dax is leading. But I don't think that we would leave him behind all of us. I think it's him and I in the middle and you behind. Which we have done before.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I'll take the rear.
All
That
right,
makes
then
no sense.
Hopp looks at Nuada,
Hmm.
who's moving. I would assume, like, you kind of know where you're going, because you do.
Yeah. hmm
How do you know where we're
I-
going?
Yep. I just realized I did it without thinking. I wink at you. Charming. And that's it.
All right.
PB faltered, but she doesn't.
Okay. Right. So we.
Yeah, so you're going to maneuver kind of.
Yeah. Sneak.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I understand it, it's not that
We
far
roll
away from where
stealth.
we entered, correct?
It's not it's sort of mid-range. It's going to take you a little while. You have to get past the large bays, but it's one of the first ones of the smaller bays. Here's what we're going to do here. I'm going to roll a D2. Cool. And that means
I just want to back up for a second. I think I would wink and also say we all have our talents. And then just so that you have that. That's it. Sorry.
you guys move down this hallway quietly, moving from cover to cover, just covering your back, checking every corner, waiting at every door, looking through every doorway to check there isn't anybody in there. At one point, a ship does take off from somewhere in the distance, on the far side of the spaceport, but nothing seems to come of it. As you get to the first bay doors here, you see into this bay. This is L Bay 3, it says, and there is a ship in there. Maneuvering around the ship is a security droid. First of all, the ship you see is a Barlos class medium freighter. And I'm just giving you ship information because I don't trust that you people are going to steal a ship one day. I don't know if you want to know.
Oh,
the
yeah.
things
That was
that are
my
in-
plan. Gotta be honest.
Yeah.
My plan is to steal a ship this day and get the fuck out of here.
Right. There's a
Actually,
pretty
do we
decent
Do we
looking
know that?
freighter in this.
No,
in
because
this
you
bay.
don't ask.
And
Right.
a set of security droids. They're maneuvering around the ship for a
At least I
moment,
assume you did.
and then they start heading towards you. So everybody needs to give me stealth checks, and this is contested against the vigilance of the S1 security droid itself. You have to beat 2 successes and
difficulty?
3 advantages. Nope, that's
S1 security?
Okay.
S1 security droids, and these things are those floating ones that you see in like Jedi Fallen Order and stuff. This thing is moving
have to beat
towards
what?
you. It's got one big red ruby eye looking at you. This is a stealth check
Yeah, those things.
because you're all
Oh,
hiding
so we
now.
have to beat the 3 advantages or just the successes?
You really only have to beat the successes. Advantages will come in afterwards if it matters.
And what if we tie?
That's when
Doesn't matter?
advantages will come in.
Oh, okay.
Bit like initiative. Let's have a look at what.
Yeah.
Has everyone rolled?
Also, I assume
No.
Rugo. Yeah.
I assume you actually did not ask, Dax. That's why I said that. But if you would have asked, then I would have told you. But you
I
don't
thought-
strike me as the type to actually ask.
So,
Difficulty?
to be clear, your plan is to steal a ship tonight,
Mhm.
and you haven't
Mhm.
told either of us.
Right.
Okay.
But you didn't ask me, did you? You didn't. I get the vibe that you kind of do your own thing. You don't really care about anybody else's opinion so far. So if you haven't actually asked me what I think or what we should do, then I wouldn't have told you, no.
Didn't I say that earlier when we were
I
just
think
talking?
you were just talking to Rugo. You said we're going to have to
Before
take
that.
care of him sooner or later, and you were talking
we're
to
gonna have to
Rugo.
take care of him, and we're gonna have to leave the planet. Didn't I say that
To Rugo.
Mhm.
But
when
I
we were
wasn't there. I was in
when
the...
we were at the bar?
Yeah,
I wasn't
but
at
you
the bar.
Yeah, but you weren't. In my opinion, you were not asking for ideas on what to do. That's
Okay,
all I'm
and you-
asking. Did you ask
okay,
me at any
that's
point? No. Okay. All right. That's the only reason why I said that. But if I'm wrong, please correct me.
I'm rolling a
Sorry.
what?
Just roll me a
And what's the
stealth
difficulty?
check.
Stealth.
There's no difficulty because I'm doing weird opposed checks that this is not the way you do them.
Two.
By the way.
Wait a second.
This is just how I'm doing
Actually,
them
doesn't matter. 2 successes.
for now. Okay, 2 successes. Yeah, this thing, this S1 security droid kind of floats out of the bay doors and scans the area and then moves back down the way it came, or the way you came. Moves past you guys as you start heading back the way you were going after a moment, letting it pass, and you move on. Heading into further down this thing, you come to S-Bay 6, which has nothing in it. Then S-Bay 5, which has a JM 5K. A JM 5K is a weird looking thing that looks like this. And here's something interesting about this Hopp. It's surrounded by troopers. Clone troopers are all over this
Yeah.
thing. And
Okay.
as you come closer, or as you guys approach this bay, and maybe you do the Scooby-Doo thing where all of your heads are looking around the bay doors, which are just open to the cargo access. You see all of these troopers just talking over this thing.
This is the one.
This is the one they want us to check out? Yep. And they said it belonged to who? Don't know. Didn't have to get any codes from them, but... Have you gotten in there yet? No, I'm working on it, aren't I?
One of them is there at the back doors. These 3 troopers are just discussing this thing, and they're clearly like breaking into this ship as you guys approach.
Right. And we're still hiding.
You're all behind.
We're not
these
close
guys,
enough within
these guys are
earshot?
like, yeah,
Okay,
they're like,
okay.
you can whisper quite safely.
Okay.
Is this
Um,
our? I'm sorry. Is this our bay?
This is not your bay,
Yes.
no.
No.
Okay.
Your bay is the next one down, though.
Mm-hmm. I say to Hopp, do you know how to pilot one of these?
One of those?
That's right.
Yeah. I say I do. Security on it's a little tricky, and try to... It's an extra flag that pops up and alerts everyone about... Well, don't worry about that. I don't think we can take that one.
You
That
don't
one
think
looks
so?
pretty surrounded. That one is also, if I were to know anything about the GM 5K, which maybe I do, maybe I don't,
Okay.
that looks like only a 2-seater, and by my count, there's 4 of us. So unless you're going to abandon Whisper and
Never.
Tank over there, then, which I didn't think so. I don't think that's quite what we need.
What do we need?
But if we alert everyone anyways, we could probably jump right over.
Okay. So that's your
Well,
skill
yeah.
set then? You're a pilot?
I just said I know how to fly one of those. Doesn't make me a pilot.
Well, if we're going to trust you to get us out of here, I would hope.
I can fly it.
Okay.
No,
It might be.
How
it might be
well
our
I can
best way
fly it
out.
might be a different conversation.
If we can get it and sneak out, okay. But our best way out might be to fly out.
I think our best way out is the way we came in.
We
I
having
agree.
this conversation
hope
in
you're
front of
right.
us? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're whispering together, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
we
agree.
should
I
go the
think
way
we should
we came.
Get the way we came in, of course.
All right.
We know there's nothing
We have
there.
no way. We have no way to get off the planet. Unless you have in your secret skill set knowing how the security goes for one of these, and also for us to jump to another planet.
I am looking at Hopp when he says this. I'm trying to gauge your reaction.
Hopp gives you absolutely nothing
Okay.
unless you're gonna roll for it.
Yeah, I want
contest
to
a
roll
roll.
for it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that cool again?
Both of you roll.
It
You can roll
was
cool
all-
or discipline.
Or discipline?
It doesn't have to be the
Discipline.
same check. One can
Your
roll
choice.
one and the other can roll the other.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I roll.
Actually,
Ooh.
can I roll deception?
Yes,
Okay.
you absolutely can.
That is still. All right.
Information.
Wow. She bodies you on that
Wow.
contested check.
All right, fine. I can pilot it. I can't pilot it that well. It got me here.
That's your
Well, you
ship.
see the result
No,
of that.
this is what I'm getting from him. I don't think he's saying this out loud, or are you?
I'm.
Either way is fine.
Talking.
I'm totally good.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Everyone can hear this just loud enough so the other
Okay.
two can.
Yeah. Okay.
I got it here. And he points to all the troopers that are surrounding it and says, I think you see the result of me getting it here.
There we go. Made it in.
Okay.
Right.
I
Move in and search it.
reach out to you, I think, but I don't touch you.
Hopp takes a step back.
Look. We all have to work together if we want to get it and us out.
I
Thank
agree.
you for telling me. So he can pilot. Best option. We get it and we get out.
We'll go eyes over, I
But-
think, maybe
So
behind.
can I. What are you saying?
I think behind Hopp as
I'm
he sort of looks over at Nuara and just eyes and shakes his head. Like, are you crazy?
I'm saying if there is a ship that we can take, we might want to consider doing that to get out.
Have you learned astrogation at some point? Are you saying
He
get
can
out
pilot.
and fly it?
So good, Dax. You don't need to
Has
worry
Dax
about...
learned astrogation?
Has
Has
Hopp
he?
learned astrogation?
Hop just said he could
Hopp
pilot
can't
it.
spell astrogation.
Yes, piloting's different than astrogation.
Okay. The whole difficulty we've had this entire time is that we've needed a droid that can plot a course for us, which is why we've been working so hard to get this droid
You don't
built.
think there's a ship with a droid in it
I
here?
think we should do the job and leave. I don't think this is the day.
Well,
Especially
all
with
right,
mixed
all right,
company.
okay. Here's what we'll do. Ready? We finish the job. We try to make
Thank
it
you.
back to the door. If the door is blocked, we go to the ship and we
I'm not saying
see
this
what happens.
ship specifically. I'm just
Oh,
saying
a ship.
there's probably a ship here with a droid that we can use.
All right, then. Same rule,
And we're
same
here,
idea,
so why not?
different ship.
I don't.
Oh, but I like that ship
I
so
can't-
much.
I don't know what's gone into you.
Yeah, I bet you do.
All right. Let's start with the first step, which is to get the stuff. Are the clones on the ship now?
Clones are now on the ship, but one of them is coming down the ramp on the back.
Nothing. Right. All right. Okay. We'll report this in.
Are they coming out?
No, they're reporting it on their little arm comm links.
Okay.
It's a little like to the ship.
We'll sneak by then, I guess.
Okay.
I have to be close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sneak by too.
Yeah. Let's see here. It is going to be another contested check,
Can
which is a BradWOTO
can I-
contested check, and I know there's 7 people
Second.
who are upset with me by the way I do this, but just so much.
So there's
Can I-
7, exactly 7.
Exactly 7.
No
yes.
more,
What do
no
you want
less.
to do?
can I do an Obi-Wan make a noise with the Force
Move.
to distract them?
You absolutely can. Yes.
Yeah, you have move, right?
Yeah.
Describe
to-
for me and Hopp how this looks.
Okay. Oh fuck. I don't put my hand out.
You sure?
I'm just. Yep. I'm sure I don't put my hand out.
Is it
That would be
even
ridiculous.
possible to do this without putting your hand out? And that's just a general Star Wars question, because I feel like I've never seen a Jedi
He always
just go,
has.
seen
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Hmm.
It feels
Okay,
like
I
no.
do not.
I don't know
think it's
why
a
I do not
that
do
is.
I
this.
think it's a somatic
It
component.
feels like
no,
a
I
smack,
do not
but-
do this. I do not do this. Moving on.
Well, not the
Stealth check.
You can
You
all.
can do a separate stealth to do it.
Yeah.
Without him
You
seeing
could
it.
do
try
a
to hide it from Hopp.
quiet stealth.
Yeah.
One of those.
Sure. I can do a stealth check.
You can
to
do a
see if I
stealth
can
check.
do
You know,
this
the
without-
old Qui-Gon chance cube.
Here's the thing, though. You're doing it. It's just that the stealth check is how well you hide it. You understand? So you can't do the stealth check and go, "Oh, I didn't. It won't be good
Never
enough. I'm
mind.
not going to do it."
Yeah.
You can't like control Z it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I will do that.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Give me a stealth
I
check.
try
Tell me
to
what
stealthily.
And now we have to kill Hopp.
This is my stealth check.
But I just got here.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm assuming this is
Good enough character
contested.
art for you.
this is gonna be
Yeah.
purely for Hopp. So yeah, Hopp, you need to give me a perception check.
Perception. Got it.
Wow.
That didn't roll. Oh, that's his roll. Okay.
Have you rolled yours?
Yep.
Was that yours?
I rolled mine. Yeah.
Oh
there
yeah.
It is.
So you got 4 successes, 2 advantages. He got 1 success and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advantages. So you're successful, actually. You actually hired this from Hopp. He doesn't see you do whatever this is. What are you doing?
Inside of the hangar, there's like a couple tools sit on a box, and I just knock a couple tools over, so it makes metal on metal, pretty loud noise on the other side of the hangar, which, you know, would be facing away from us.
Cool. I'm going to use a dark side point, which is going to upgrade his check. You are going to give him a setback die, though, for distracting him as this thing...
What the hell was that?
He looks over at this other thing, and then I'm going to roll his vigilance check here. Which is 1 success and 3 advantages, and I need you guys to roll your stealth checks, and this is moving past the door. You've got to beat 1 success and 3 advantages.
All right.
Sorry, what? Are we rolling?
Stealth
I
checks.
just got back.
Stealth checks, no difficulties and stuff.
All right.
Wow, they're being really stealthy. Can't even see him.
Let's see here. Wow, 2 advantages, 3 advantages, 2 successes, 3 successes. And okay, how does Nuada and Rugo kinda fuck this up? As you're, and this is you, so you're moving past very large bay doors. This is why this is a thing. Like there is one clone trooper that kind of becomes distracted by like some tools falling off of a crate, and then you guys all like Scooby-Doo across the opening in this at the edge of this bay. So what is it that you guys do here?
I think I am talking to him, whispering and maybe a little distracted.
To Rugo.
Rugo, yeah. Rugo, what do you think is going to happen when they find out the item is missing? They're going to lock down the planet.
Right.
If our goal is to get out of here, this might be the best day we have.
We have no droid. We have no astrogation.
Halt!
I'm sure
Who
we
goes
can
there?
find a ship that has a
The
droid.
clone has seen you and is walking towards you. You guys are kind of like skittering across, but he's not like firing on you or anything. He's moving, marching over towards you two. The other two are clean on the other side. You two are like deer in headlights moment. What do you do as he starts moving towards you?
Hello, sorry. I was looking, part of,
Tools.
and I wave my hand, toward, Nuada.
As in
Sorry,
shut up,
looking for,
or-
yes,
Okay.
I'm looking for there is, a team droid repair. Sorry, is this, I think I'm at the wrong one. Is this, well, this is, I'm sorry, it's an L. I thought this was a 7. Excuse me, we'll be on our way.
Is this your ship?
Oh, no.
And you're here for what? Droid repair?
Droid repair, yeah, I was picking up a job. Sorry, wrong bay.
Yeah, which bay?
Yes, and I immediately just blurt something with confidence as best I can, charming.
Is it
And
the
then
one you
Rugo
saw
told me to
earlier?
shut up.
Which one do you say?
I didn't tell you to shut
what
up. I
are
put
our
my hand up
options?
for you to shut up.
Yeah, I know, but that's
S
what I mean.
Bay 1 through 6, L Bay 1 through 4.
But we're in S right now, right?
This is S Bay 5,
Okay.
Press Club 7.
S Club 7.
I would like to use my force power to try to see if I foresee to try again to see if I either on our way out or something like that I can find a bay that seems reasonable enough, and if not, I'm just gonna try to charm.
Okay.
Can I do both of those things, or do I have to pick one over the other?
Well, charm
Sorry,
is
I lost my
is
accent.
you'd have to role play and then do a charm roll, you know. So yeah,
Right.
use the
But I mean,
4C,
I'm right. Okay.
the 4C first.
Okay. Ooh. Hold on, let me make sure there's no difficulty. Finally,
Yeah,
Jesus.
white. If you mention Elbay 1,
Mm-hmm.
that would belong to the Rhodian Bleach. You see, Bleach.
Did we already pass by Elbay 1?
Elbay 1 is like on the other side of where you are. It's like the
Okay.
opposite side of where you are.
Right.
But Elbay 1 belongs to a person who is a droid wholesaler selling type.
So that would be the perfect thing to lie about. Okay, perfect. You said LB1?
Yes.
LB1? Sorry,
Yes, LB1.
are we in the wrong place?
Hold on.
Could you help us? This is mighty embarrassing. I would appreciate
What
it.
is your name?
Do I know anyone that I feel like I would want to pull from somebody I know? I actually don't know. Can I roll to see, like, what Nuada would know to do in this situation? Like, is it better to just make something up or to use somebody she's maybe heard of in her work?
Yeah.
Because I can just make something up, but I also don't, like, I feel like it might be beneficial to be like, oh, I'm an assistant for, and then just rattle off somebody that I know exists in the political space so that he goes, oh, that's familiar, or I recognize that name somehow.
You can roll warfare or education or
Can I roll
skullduggery.
diplomacy? Is there not like a,
Let me think.
diplomacy
I feel
skill?
Like this is kind of an in
like
check.
even negotiation? Sort of, I guess, would be the closest.
Okay, you know what? You can roll a negotiation, but it will be a different type of answer to an
Okay.
int-based check.
Okay,
And just roll it with no difficulty, and we'll just see how well you do.
okay. I could also do leadership. I just don't know which
Leadership.
because I don't see like I don't see a politics thing
Do
here.
leadership.
Okay. Difficulty or no?
Nope, just roll it, and we'll see what you get. One success and a bunch of advantages. In this situation, if you don't want to be dropping anyone like Mil Baravin or anyone like
No,
that.
I
because
wouldn't.
that's
I
gonna-
wouldn't.
As
Yeah.
much as it swings, it's going to cause trouble for you.
No.
You could. He's checking who the
Mhm.
ship belongs to in the bay,
Right.
and it would be registered
Okay.
to that Rhodian Bleach. But
Perfect. Then
it would
I
just say the name Bleach. It wouldn't necessarily
yeah.
come up with information about him.
then I would say that bleach.
Right, well, you're a little off course.
How embarrassing. Could you direct us?
Well, you're going to have to walk all the way around the cargo at this time of night, or you can come all the way around the front and then take yourself up the center through where you're supposed to be right now.
Is there no shortcut or elevator?
Well, I don't know how you managed to get yourself all the way out here.
Being clueless, I suppose.
Right,
So you're saying there's no shortcut or anything?
well, you're going to have to come back the way you came.
He
Right.
points in the opposite way, by the way, which is the way you need to go, because that's the way you would have come in if you came in through the main entrance.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Right,
Sorry for the trouble.
yeah. One moment.
And I'm just going to make one quick perception
I-
check.
Glance
quick
to
dark side roll.
Rugo.
Do they have perception? I guess it'll be this one.
And smile. Nuada is nicer than I am.
I wink back.
Wow. That's a lot of successes on this clone.
Fuck.
As you go to turn around, he says,
Wait a minute.
Looks like a Jedi's ass.
Where'd you get
Yes.
that armor from?
and he points to the patchy
Yeah, right. Of
clone
course.
trooper armor that you're wearing.
Oh,
Huh?
do you like it? He got it from Bleach. I'm just gonna straight up fucking try to charm our way out of this because I know what's about to happen if I don't.
This is exciting.
Why do you speak in the third person?
What?
You said he got it from Bleach.
You just said I like that armor. Where'd you get that armor from, right?
Right.
But he's talking to Rugo.
She doesn't know she's Bleach.
Yeah, he's talking
You
to
just said
Rugo, and then you said he got it from Bleach.
You are Bleach.
You said your name was Bleach a second
No,
ago.
you
It's
said-
like in the shadows mouthing, you said your name was Bleach.
Oh, I thought no. Hold on. I thought he was asking who we were there from or who we were there for. I forgot he was asking that was my name. So I wouldn't say that. ROTA wouldn't say that. That was just PB forgetting. I thought he was saying like, who are you here for, or who is the ship belong to, and that's why I said that. So then I don't say anything at all.
He's staring at you then, Rugo.
Where did you get that armor from?
Bought it?
You bought it. Do you know what you're wearing?
Yeah. No, it's pretty expensive.
He knocks he's got his rifle in his arm, and he knocks the
Yeah.
plasteel on him.
That is phase 2 clone armor you're wearing.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Huh. That
Do you
explains
remember
why
where
it was,
you got it?
so it explains why it was so expensive.
Yeah. Do you
No,
remember where you got it?
I don't. Some off-worlder. I don't. Is it? What? Is there? Are you supposed to take it back, or
Alright, you come with me. You move on.
And he
who?
gestures to you for you to come with him, and for ROTA to move on.
Sorry, I'm
Come with
have
me.
a job. to-
Wait. I think this will get us way behind schedule. Is it possible you can just take the armor? He didn't know. He really didn't know. He's a little bit daft.
Me a negotiation check, and
All right. Fuck.
I don't really have anything that I can roll against you, so we're gonna make this with make me with a 2 difficulty.
Right.
I don't want to have to break you in half, Clone Trooper, but I will.
I know. I'm trying to save his life. Little does he know.
Little does he know we've already taken out one of his own. And I was a child 6 months ago.
A failure and 3 advantages. This guy is probably not going to
Do anything. Perfect.
do anything. And here's the advantage I'm going to give you. It's not necessarily going to help you right now, but it is a piece of information that you have gathered over the course of this thing, or maybe just through the few interactions you've had with the clones. After Order 66 happened and the clones shifted and took out all of the Jedi kind of gave the clones a lot of individualism. They were very I don't know what the word is, but they since the Galactic Empire has overtaken, they've become so much more militant, much more like droids that they always tried not to be in the clones that you would have known. They've become very like to the letter, and they follow their orders a lot more strictly. So that's the reason you suspect that this clone is not letting this go, rather than it being anything else. Maybe during the Clone Wars this might have been a thing where it would have worked, but there's something about the clones now. They've changed, and he says to you, Rugo,
No, come with me. We need to know where you got it from exactly.
I understand you're just doing your job and you're trying to do
I
the
said
best
move
that you
on,
can,
man.
but so are we.
he like moves his gun up a little. It's not like aiming at you, but he shifts it
I
up
take him
towards
out.
you. Okay.
I take him out.
All right.
Sorry. There's no way I'm letting him take Rugo.
Yeah.
Are there people nearby that can see us? actually. I feel like Nuada would
I think Rugo
clock the
was
situation, but-
okay with going. Like,
I know you
not
were.
Like, yeah.
This
I know you
is the people nearby.
Are we alone, though?
There are
This will determine what I do.
3 clones. There are 2 clones that are on the ship behind you, and you've got 2 allies behind you in the cargo bay.
How
So there.
far?
Sorry,
What's
go
the
ahead.
distance? Yeah, between the ship and this conversation.
We're going
Abandoned.
to. I'll give you the combat range stuff. The ship and you guys are going to be. It is short distance from Rugo and Nuada, and medium for the other 2.
Okay, I just wanted to know for a sound, would if like I don't know, a stun setting shot was shot from where we are, they would hear that on the ship?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably
Yes,
wouldn't hear
so-
you throw like a silhouette 0 at them. What is this, Art? Sorry.
Question.
Yes.
So, just to clarify, you said there are 3 clone troopers total right now? And
3
then there's
clone
2.
troopers total.
Okay. But can the other 2 see us? Like, I'm just trying to Metal Gear Solid gauge. Like, if I try to take this guy out right now or, like, grab him and pull him somewhere, am I able to do that without being seen? Or is it going to... Because it's just going to determine my type of action, I think.
No, the other 2 clone troopers can't see you. They're on the ship.
Perfect.
It doesn't
did we-
mean you can. Yeah,
Can I try something, or are we already in combat?
we're kind of in combat. I mean, it basically depends. Nuada, are you definitely going to try and stealthily
Yes.
take him out?
Yes.
Then
yes.
we're in
this
combat
is just
and we
like
need-
Nuada tries to not engage as much as possible, but the moment it seems like the most effective way to
Mhm.
do something is to take action, she does it without hesitation.
Yeah.
So,
In
but
which
did we
case-
figure out what the
Too far away.
roles were for the move basic power upgrade that I did? Do you remember, like with
do you mean?
silhouettes and stuff like that? I'm just wondering if we figured out how to do that, because I
Yes.
upgraded that power. Okay, perfect. So
We did.
what I'm hoping to do is move him into the wall and knock him out.
Cool.
I just want to force push him into the wall and knock him right the fuck out.
Yeah, everyone needs to roll me vigilance under your initiative. So that's under combat, I think, and then initiative. That's. Wow.
Yeah, not in your skills, but in your
Right.
in the combat section.
And then we determine, is everyone rolled? Everyone on there? 1,
Mhm.
2, 3, 4.
It
Yeah.
need- no, PB, you have to go into the combat section,
I did.
Yeah, no, that's correct. She's on the turn order, so it must be the correct one.
but she's got difficulty dice.
Oh, you've
on
added
there.
difficulty
Oh,
dice
it just
to
means I had difficulty.
Yeah, so that one was you there. So this is how it actually looks. What are you attempting to do? Because he goes first, unfortunately for you.
Yeah, but is he trying to attack me, or is he just having a conversation still?
You do something, because the thing is, this is a vigilance roll. So
Mhm.
you must go like this or something.
I see.
There's a tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm about to do something.
Because you
let
weren't
me
really
just look at
planning
my
this, so
talents and stuff real quick.
he just so happens to be
I wasn't
epic.
planning it.
Actually, wait a second. 1 success and 3 advantages. You might actually be more than him. 2 success, 3 advantages. Oh no, you had 2.
I would
success
also
and 3
argue
advantages.
that I was prepared for this. Like, I was gearing up for this, whereas he might not have been.
I mean, he was
like,
as well. You guys were
yeah.
being stopped by him. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you're on equal ground.
Yeah, then I
And he
I
finished
think,
his training, and we didn't.
Yeah. I think I just move my hand to do the, the force push.
Yeah. And
Musical theater, force push.
I don't know if he knows, like, I don't know if he would interpret that as if it's a Jedi thing or if I'm reaching for a weapon or what, but I do move,
yeah,
which I guess would cause him to go first.
you you go to move and it just causes. I think all that's going to happen here is he just fires his gun. Just it's a reactive thing, and I'm going to roll that now.
Only I had a light.
Now I need to remember how to do combat. You'll be pleased to know, Greg, that no one knows what they're doing, apart from those 7 people in chat. But I need to remember. This is you're in melee range with him right now, which is engaged.
Perfect.
That's 2 difficulty for him. Does he have anything that... You know what? I'm adding a dark side point to this. Give him an upgrade on that. Because this sucks for you. Then I'm going to roll on there.
Oh, what's
What
that?
the hell is that thing?
Wow, that is a despair.
Oh, get fucked.
That is a despair.
That's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Hear you
is
despair.
very
The
bad
worst
for
for
him.
him.
So let's find out
Yeah.
what that means.
The spell wind.
Yeah, a despair.
Yeah, I think that's a critical
dice
failure.
is pretty much a critical failure.
Send it this way.
We could have him. You know what I might do?
I'm so confused. Did you use a dark side to screw up your own attack?
No, he used it to upgrade.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Did I click the wrong one? I think I did. Thank you. Thank you so much. I clicked the wrong upgrade. Wow.
All right, well, now we know what a despair looks like.
That's what a
we
despair
know
looks
what that
like.
looks like.
So
'Cause I
cool.
was multitasking too much.
Orcish.
Thank you, Orcish.
But actually, thank you, Orcish.
No.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Orcish, you have a boost on your next die.
Okay.
Good
'Cause
catch.
there's no inspiration. Let me roll again. So 2 difficulty and 1 upgrade this time.
Oh, right, yeah.
Wow, 1 success. So, Nuada, you get
Mhm.
struck by this blast. It's gonna deal.
can I
10...
parry?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
tell me what you do with this stuff.
I've never done this before, but when hit by a melee attack, I can suffer
isn't a melee attack.
but he's in close range, so doesn't he get disadvantages for trying to hit me with a rifle?
Oh, actually, he does
we
have to
do,
roll
yeah.
3 difficulty since he's using a heavy blaster in
Yeah, and
close
we're in
range.
melee. Yeah.
Oh, you're correct. It's 3. I gave him the ranged light. So we roll again.
All right.
We're
That's
figuring
what
it
it-
out, chat. We're figuring it
That's
out.
the
We'll
rules.
get there.
Yeah. 1 success,
Still,
2 threats.
But
So
2 threats.
Yeah.
So
so it's
don't know what
still
that
gonna
means
hit you
for us.
unless
His threats.
what does parry do?
parry
Oh, it's
just allows
melee.
me to suffer strain and to reduce damage. But if it's not a melee attack, then that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
just
just
take the
gonna get
Yep.
struck. So you're gonna take 10 wounds
Mm-hmm.
reduced by your soak.
Minus soak. Okay.
And then there are 2 threats to deal with.
But those are for him, right?
Yes, he
Yeah.
has 2 threats.
Can I argue that I get a bonus die from my force move for that threat?
You can. The next 2 attacks against him have boost die.
Perfect. Can I argue that I will take them both?
You will take.
Oh, you want to take both boost die?
That's right.
I would also like one.
Does anyone care?
You're,
Rugo wants
Nope.
one.
yep. Where are they? Are they from the pool?
I think the next 2 attacks against him is
Alright,
the rule.
fair.
So
That's
you
fair,
get
that's
1.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super fair.
He's not finished though. He's actually going to back up.
Perfect.
And he is on his comm immediately.
Back up, back up. We're under attack.
And you hear kind of shuffling inside the ship. The ramp is down, and you can hear that they would come running out momentarily. First PC He moved a range band away
Me.
from you because he can do that.
Me.
Now, presumably, it's going to be a new order, but again, the way
Yep.
this works, you can pick.
Me.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the force move and push him against the wall and knock him out.
Okay. Let's look at how that works.
Yeah, because we don't know
'cause
yet.
I remember talking about it at fucking 2 a.m. with you.
Yeah, but
like always. this
Cannot.
is-
I don't think we can then, right?
Did you upgrade
is-
your
She's upgraded.
power?
I did upgrade my power
She's
twice.
got a bunch of
but
upgrades on this
the
thing,
reason
and you know
why
what,
I
we're gonna
wanted to
double
ask
check.
you, Brad, how it worked is because if it's not possible to do this move without 2 force die, it's not possible for me to succeed
Yes, it
That's
is.
unless I
not
roll
true.
a 2 force
Okay,
die.
you can get 2.
Yeah.
You just don't.
but
You
when
don't
I'm
roll
s-
2 physical dice. You just have to get 2 white.
Right, but the probability
you
is so
apply.
much less, so I would not necessarily spend money to upgrade this until I had a 2 force die. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine. I'll do it this way for now.
I mean,
But
you
if the
should have said that
probability
when
is
we
like
were
one,
talking about it. I don't know what to tell you.
well, I didn't know how to do it until just now.
Well, you said you did,
Anyway,
and we
it's
spoke
fine.
about it for like an hour.
Okay. Sure, I will do this.
This thing that you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
you need to roll 2 white die, right? Because you're trying to do the thing where you're doing move, basic power.
Yes. And then but I've upgraded the control and the strength.
So you need to get.
But I think this means I still need to roll 2 white force dies if that's how it works. But that's not possible to do unless I roll 2 in one roll because I only have 1 force rating, right?
Right. So you need
Yeah.
to generate 2 white die to be able to increase the silhouette. Is that right?
Right.
Is that what you're trying to do? Wait, where is it? Where did it go?
I don't
You
know.
turn it
You're- Turn what off?
The upgrades. There it is. Hang on.
Yeah.
So you
don't know how it
upgraded
works.
it to control. You can hurl objects to damage targets. Is that what you're trying to
Yep.
do? Or are you just trying to move him? You're just trying to move him, right?
I'm trying to push him, but he's the silhouette 1, right? And
He's
by
the silhouette
default,
1,
our
so you
silhouette.
need to get
Yeah.
2 white die to be able to increase the strength, which is what you got the upgrade for.
I also got control upgrade so that I could do damage when I move them.
Well, that would require 3 horsepower.
I don't think so. I don't think that's. Aha. Okay, maybe it is, but that seems really.
Can you use any of our force die
It seems to me like
to make
when
this
you
work?
buy the upgrade, that is now what you do. Like, it's just an upgraded ability. Otherwise, every single upgrade you buy, you have to continue to add white force die to it, and you wouldn't be able to use that move until end game. Period.
It would be, yeah.
Right?
This was
Am I
the
crazy?
conclusion that we came to. I think that
Yeah.
it would be too many eventually. Like it's ridiculous to be able to generate that many. The pips.
Max is
that-
at 5.
I think they call them pips. And I did look online for a bit, but as is always the case with this, I was doing it at 2:30 in the morning on my sofa.
Okay.
And so you want to generate 2 white pips because you're trying to
I'll
do
just roll.
control, which is a discipline check combined with a move power check, and then because you need the silhouette to be at least 1 to get the damage for the 10 times.
Yep.
I think the question is whether you need to do move to charge the power, which is 1 pip, then control to get the second
But
pip,
then-
and then the
Yeah,
third
but then
pip
you
on
would have
strength.
to do. Yeah, you would have to, which is not possible for me to do until end game.
Right.
So it doesn't really make that much sense to me, but maybe I'm wrong. It seems like that would not be the case.
I believe
It seems
by
like
the
because it's an
time
upgrade,
my
it
brain
replaces one.
capsized when we were looking
Yeah.
at this before, we came to the
Yeah.
conclusion that this was correct. That's all I can remember, though. I don't remember what we actually looked up. So in my head, this is correct, and I'm sure someone will correct
Okay.
us if it isn't, and we can deal with it then. So
Sure.
I think, yes, you basically need to do what you just did. You just do the discipline.
Yeah, but that means I only get to do 1. If you're saying that I have to spend a white force power to even just use the ability before I touch the upgrades, then I choose 1, control or strength or range. I can't. I
Can
have
go
to
for
pick.
you.
Yeah, or two. Even two, right? Because I have to use one to even use the ability. But it makes sense to me that if you're buying an upgrade, like if you spend the points to upgrade your ability to increase the range.
What are you concerned about? You don't need to increase the range. He's in short range from you.
He moved. Well, he's in. But I guess I'm just trying to understand how it works. I think if like we.
You
anyway,
would have.
it's
I
fine.
think you would have
Sure.
to pick, but you don't need to right now. You could
I think
also.
you would have to pick between control or strength, but because you spend an upgrade on range, when you use. Anyway, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know. Someone will fix it on the internet. YouTube will help us.
Help us, YouTube. You're
I
only
want
hope.
to knock him into the wall and do damage
well,
to knock him out.
You're doing
Can I do
control and strength.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, and that's what the
Yeah.
2 pips are for. And if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yep. You just tell me if like what happens.
Yeah. You obliterate him.
Okay.
So you tell me what happens.
Shout out to
He
Reese's.
is on comms saying back up, and he gets backed up into the wall and knocked out
Yeah.
and
You
crumples to the ground.
you kill him.
No, I don't want to kill him. I
You're
very
dealing
specifically
10
said I wanted to knock
damage.
him out. Yeah, but is it like D&D where I can say non-lethal damage?
Does it do?
I was
You
very
Yeah,
can
that's
ask
a
for
good point.
that I
strain
wanted to
damage.
knock
Which is a
him
good
out.
point. Can you do
You can do
that?
if you
Yeah.
want to do strain or wounds, and if you knock
Yeah.
out his strain, he passes out.
This time
Yeah.
I will allow it.
Okay, well,
And these are all going to be things I'll look up later on.
yes, please.
Got it.
But this guy gets pushed, thrown into a bunch of boxes, upside down, falls over this thing, slides across, and just disappears into the background as he's like comically thrown across the room.
Force unleashed, stormtrooper.
Absolute
Yeah.
force unleashed. There is no denying what you just saw, Hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
This
my
was
golly.
insane what she just did. And we're going to end the session here, but we end the session looking at Hop as Hop looks at what Nuada just did. And that's the end of the session, and we'll do this entire thing next week with, hopefully, the rules.
Sorry, guys.
The roof.